Welcome. Today we thought we'd discuss this whole question on how to keep your brain healthy, because it's I think we should say it's one of the most important issues that people keep raising.
Important and top concern. When you're talking about aging, that's certainly probably the top thing that people worry about, their health and their brain.
One of my friends was in an absolute panic, but all but hyperventilating, because she had been to a bancomat. I'm sorry, I do speak French half of the time. An ATM machine. She had gone to the ATM machine and she could not remember her code. And in Switzerland, if you put in the wrong code 3 times, it eats your card.
Yeah,
and it's
inconvenient.
A long process to get it back.
Wow.
And she was just absolutely convinced that she was completely going over the deep end, which of course wasn't the case. She simply had gotten the numbers confused. And she hasn't gotten them confused since. But this is a real concern.
It is.
Am I losing my mind? And what can I do?
So there's a lot of different things that people can do. Have you ever played the game? It's an online game called Luminosity.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
That's a great thing. So, doing brain exercises like Lumosity, or like having conversations or reading books and just keeping your brain really active and always challenging yourself. That's the thing about those games, is that they're kind of pushing you to go a little further, remember a little more, think a little more. That's the part that's so important, because we can't become stagnant and we can't just sit and watch TV or be passive all the time or do things repetitively that we're accustomed to. We always have to try new things. And you said that to me just the other day, didn't you? You said it's good to try something new every single day.
That's right. And to actually do something that scares you every day. And I was telling Jen, I was in Miami rush traffic in those 4 lanes, not sure where I wanted to get off. And I felt like I had had my scare for the day.
I don't know if you need to risk your life every day. Just a little scare.
Do you know something that I read, fantastic book, and I'm going to find the title of this book, because it was kind of what you're talking about, doing different gymnastics with your mind. And one of the suggestions in there was that when you come home at night, when you walk into your home, don't turn on the lights. Take off your coat, hang it up in the closet, go check messages on your telephone.
That's a neat idea.
Without turning on the light. And if you can imagine checking your messages on the telephone and not knowing if you're actually erasing them instead of being able to listen to them. What's interesting about this is it apparently makes your neurons connect in different ways, and it makes some of the connections stronger, because instead of using just your sight, you're using all your senses. You're using the feel of space, and this question of even the odors and the sounds, and just that kind of gut feeling as to where you are and what you know about where you are.
That's a simple, great idea. I love that.
Right. As long as you don't end up black and blue all the time from bumping into furniture.
And then there's also things like our diet plays a big important part of our brain function. And eating too much sugar is actually not good for your brain. It causes a lot of inflammation in your body. So, I don't mind a treat once in a while, but if you overdo the sugar, you have to be really careful about how that's going to affect your diabetes and your brain health.
I've noticed that. One of our, you call it a death wish probably, when we come to the U.S., we love the American ice cream. And heaven knows that is so
I've
full
noticed
of sugar.
that about you kids. I always get ice cream with you.
And if I have too much ice cream, I know my brain's not functioning the same.
That's interesting that you feel it right away.
Oh, I do. So some of this is just good common sense. But Jen, you and I were at a conference a year ago where one of the speakers was saying how sitting is the new smoking.
Oh boy, that's true.
And how important is that apparently sitting, becoming a couch potato.
Or a computer.
A computer
Potato.
geek. Is just as lethal as smoking. So it's for your brain. You have to get up. You have to move.
You need to get oxygen to the brain. You need to get circulation going by exercising and moving around, or even just taking breaks if you work at a computer. Even if you just get up every 30 minutes and go take a little walk around the house or something, just to get the blood circulating, because the blood brings oxygen to the brain tissue. Sitting too much really is an issue.
That's something I have a real problem with, because I get so involved in what I'm doing that I just forget time. I mean, last night I was doing some blogs, and I realized I'd been sitting for 4 hours, and I hadn't even gotten up to get a drink. So you almost have to have an alarm that goes off, or a program on your computer that says, hello, time to get up and take a walk.
Get a snack, get a little drink of water.
Right.
Yeah.
Because water is really important too, isn't it?
Yep, you need the fluid and hydration too for your brain. And then there's foods that you eat that are good for you, like fish can be good for you as long as it's not too polluted. It has omega-3 fatty acids. Brain in a lot of ways.
And what fish are the best? Sardines and salmon?
Sardines and salmon are the highest in omega-3. That's not really everyone's favorite, so you can get the fish oil in the pills, and that's a good way to get concentrated amounts of it.
But is that really the same?
Yes.
Yes?
It is. Mm-hmm.
Just to summarize, because I think this is really important. Getting activity, just shaking and moving, doesn't really matter what it is, but
And
also
to add to that is breath.
breathing.
We actually breathe very shallow, and the breath issue is also about getting the oxygen to the tissues. And for some reason, we tend to not take a full breath most of the time, just take the minimal amount that we need to stay alive, and we tend to hold our breath a little bit too. So that adds to that, and the exercise together will increase the oxygen to the brain.
So let's just take a deep breath together here.
Great
just
idea.
Breathe in. Way down into your gut, right?
It makes
That's
you
where it
realize
has to
how
go.
shallow your breath is
Oh,
when you do
yes.
that, doesn't it?
And then, now that we've exhaled 20 times, exhale.
Sorry, I interrupted your exercise.
Let's do it again. And this is all good for your brain. This is all just, these are good tips. So exercise, breathing, very important.
Food.
The omega-3.
Not too much sugar.
Not too much sugar. And really stretching your comfort zone. Trying something new every day.
Mental challenges.
Even if it's just going home from the grocery store a different way. Or walk backwards. Get the people around you to start asking what you're doing, and you can explain that it's working for your brain.
You can say Bonnie said to do it.
Right. Please tell them. AgeEsteem Live is where they want to go to get such interesting information.
And that's a great way to wrap up that segment, too.
It is indeed.
Thank you for being with us today.
Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Lots of love.